Hey, it's me. You miss me? No? Okay.
What's up everyone, my name is Jonathan. If you are new to my channel, make sure you guys watch my last video. I did an introduction, just introducing myself and giving you guys a little background on who I am and what type of videos I'll be making in the future. This video, I'm gonna be talking about coming out to my friends, my family.
Whew, I can barely breathe. Give me water, please, water.
I know I'm so nervous making this video, but I want to be as authentic and as genuine as I can, because I know this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, but for me in particular, I am very open in talking about coming out. It was very hard for me to accept that I like both men and women. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, they look at bisexual people and they just think that, oh, like, you know, they're confused or it's just a phase. And I just feel like throughout time I've learned to just accept myself and accept who I am and who I like, because that's really what it comes down to. At first, for me, I thought it was just like, oh, like I want to look like him, because I always knew I was attracted to girls. You know, I dated girls, I've been with girls. Fast forward, in high school, that's when I realized, okay, I'm into both sexes. Once I established with myself that I was attracted to both sexes, you know, it was just like a game for me. And I hate to admit, but it was just like I would keep everything on the low. If I did meet a guy or whatever it was, for me it was just 1, 2, 3 thing. It was never like I'm gonna take this into the next step and explore a relationship. For me, it was never like that. In high school, I had a high school sweetheart. You know, yes, it was a girl. And I guess once I experienced that breakup, for me it was like, okay, you know, you also like guys. And I never really took initiative of that and, you know, explore that side until I was done with my first sweetheart breakup. So, does that make sense?
It better make sense, because if it doesn't make sense, I'm not saying it again.
I always told myself, you're gonna end up with a woman. You're gonna end up, you know, living the regular traditional life that, you know, your parents raised you to, you know, to do. Once you accept who you are, that's when you're like, okay, who do I tell? And for me, the first person that came in mind was my best friend Carla. I remember going out to a bar. This was last year, so now I graduated college. I decided to get a Tinder, and long story short, I met this guy. He was really trying to pursue a relationship, and he told me from the start, I'm not here for like games or like quick hookups. I'm here for like the long run. And for some reason, he was really attracted to me, and I was very attracted to him. And I was like, all right, let me go ahead and see what this other side, you know, I don't know. I was just like, let me just see what happens. For me, I wasn't trying to explore any relationship with any guy, because I still had the mentality where I was like, this cannot happen for me. If you watch my last video, my mom's side is very religious, and my dad's side is very masculine. So me coming out and saying, hey, I like both sexes, it's like a slap in both of their faces, and like, get him holy water because he's sick. Okay, so then we go out to this bar, me and a bunch of friends. We're celebrating one of my friend's birthday, and Carla comes, my best friend, obviously. So we're dancing, I'm ordering drinks, the drinks were flowing, and I think I look at her and I'm like, hey, like, I gotta tell you something. Just so you guys know, I was doing this for a while. Like, there was times where I wanted to just come out like this, and I would like hit her up or give her a phone call, FaceTime her. I had her like scared all the time. I would be like, hey, I gotta tell you something. She'd be like, what is it, John? Like, what is it? So I already had her suspicious, you know, but I never really gave her any signs of being bisexual or whatever it is, or that I was attracted to guys. She was always like, you know, whatever it is, you could tell me, but she had no idea that it was really that I'm into, you know, both sexes. Right when I was thinking about telling Carla, she looks at me and she's like, okay, you know, you always tell me, you have to tell me something. Like, what is it? Like, just tell me, like, Jonathan, whatever it is, I'm here for you, and you know, and I love you no matter what. When she told me that, I was like, okay, she knows. Like, there's no way she's telling me she loves me and that she's here for me, and she doesn't know. Like, she knows. And I legit just look at her and I'm just like, I'm bi. And she looks at me, doesn't speak for like 2 seconds, and I swear to God, those 2 seconds were like 10 minutes in my head. I'm like, I just want her to say something. And she goes, okay. Like, okay, that's fine. Jonathan, that's fine. I'm like,
No, it's not fine. It's not fine. Talk to me. Talk to me.
She was just like, Jonathan, I love you no matter what. You know, like at the end of the day, you're still perfect to me. You're no different to me. She was just saying all these good things, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm sweating right now even talking about it, and I remember sweating at that particular moment. It was such a reliever because, you know, that's my best friend since 6th grade, and like we've known each other for so many years, over 10 years, and I just didn't want her not to, you know, accept me. Like it's like it's like your best friend or your sister, your sibling, and them rejecting you will break your heart. And having her beside me and telling me that she supports me, loves me no matter what. Whew. And ever since then, everything was a little more easier for me to accept myself even more and be able to tell anybody else that I was really close with. Second person I decided to tell was my younger brother. So I ended up telling him, we were having dinner and I was just like, hey, I gotta tell you something. And I said it as a joke. I said it right away. For me, telling him was way more easier than telling my best friend Carla. And I think it was just because, you know, we have that brother bond and he's not a very judgmental person. So I told him and he was like, shut up. He was like, shut up. And he just kept like denying that I told him that I'm bisexual. He's like, shut up. Little by little, I just started telling him some stories and like when did I know and stuff like that. And he ended up accepting it. After that, it was just so much easier to tell my guy friends. My friends were always super supportive. That side, telling my friends, and I consider Jacob, even though he's my brother, he's one of my best friends. So like, I consider them the friends that support me. Bam, I got that out the way. So now that I got the friends out of the way, the hardest part of this entire process for me would have to be my parents and my family. I was never ready to tell my parents, and I was never planning to tell them. But do you guys remember that guy that I spoke earlier on the video that I met on Tinder? So that guy that I met on Tinder, I'm currently dating him. I think 6 months in, 7 months in, you know, it was just, he started like hanging out with my friends and he started hanging out with my family, and like my family knows all my friends. My parents, they know everyone that I am cool with, and so does my cousins and stuff like that. So now that I brought this guy into the picture, little by little people started questioning why I was always hanging out with this guy that I'm dating now. For me, it was just like, okay, like what do I do? Every day I kept thinking about it when I went to bed, and I was like, you gotta come out. You just have to do it, because at the end of the day, if your parents truly love you, if your family really loves you, they will accept you. And you know, I'm 22 years old. Like I can't. For me, I was like, yo, I can't keep hiding. Like it is what it is. So me and the guy that I'm dating, I'm not saying his name because I'm gonna make a video in the future of me and him, so you guys will be able to, you know, meet him, and he'll do like a little introduction, etc. So me and, let's call him Tinder guy. So me and Tinder guy were 6-7 months into a relationship, and we decided to take a trip to Puerto Rico. So at this point, everyone in my family knows him, my friends know him, but they just think he's like a really close friend of mine that I met through NYPD. I made a lie saying that I met this guy working for the New York City Police Department. You're gonna right away just be like, okay, he's not gay, he's not bi, you know, and I hate to say that, but those are my parents. Unfortunately, that's the generation that they grew up in, so they're very old school. So again, if I said he works for the police department, they would just be okay, cool. If I said he was an actor and he comes over all the time, they'll just be suspicious. Point blank. Fast forward, me and Tinder guy decided to go to Puerto Rico. Before we take this trip to Puerto Rico, I'm packing, I'm getting all my things, and my mom is in the house, and so is Tinder guy. So mom goes, oh, where are you going? And I said, oh, we're gonna go to Puerto Rico. And she just, like, you could tell that she has a very suspicious face and thought. And I'm just like, Mom, it's me, Tinder guy, and my best friend Carla. We're all gonna go to Puerto Rico. So that kind of calmed her down a little bit, because like my best friend is going, and she's a girl, so maybe she's thinking, oh, like Tinder guy and my best friend are dating. I don't know. Long story short, went to Puerto Rico. She kept calling me, FaceTiming me. I wasn't answering because Carla's not there. So I just kept ignoring her calls, but I said I was fine. I'm just, you know, I'm hanging out, whatever. I come to New York, I come home, and while I'm walking upstairs to my bedroom, my mom tells me, hey, I'm gonna come upstairs soon because we have to talk. And I knew it was coming. I said, cool, come upstairs, I'll be in my room. I remember coming to my room, freaking out. I didn't know who to text, what to say, but I remember texting my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, like, I'm home. Mom said she wants to talk to me. I think she wants to have that conversation, and I don't think I'm ready. My boyfriend is just supporting me, telling me, listen, everything's gonna be okay. Maybe it's time, you gotta be honest. But it was just so, again, no one's ready for that. And especially if you don't feel comfortable in telling your parents or your family, it becomes a big issue in your head. So what I did, I quickly texted my cousin, and I told him, hey, like, I'm freaking out. My mom wants to have a conversation with me, and you know what it is. Because at this point, I already told, like, my best friends. I told my close cousins. And I told him, like, and he only lives like 10 minutes away. My cousin gets here. He came to my room. He's like, yo, like, how you want to do this? And do you want to tell her? Do you want me to tell her for you? And I was like, I just need you here. He was like, cool, like, I'll just stay here. My mom comes upstairs. So she's telling me, hey, like, you've been hanging out with this kid lately, and I know you're not gay. She just like this, she goes, I know you're not gay, but is he? And like, what's going on? I was getting nervous, I was sweating, and I kept smiling. When I get nervous, I smile so much. Like, I laugh. I don't know why I do that. She seems upset, and this can either go really good or go really bad. So once she started asking me, I was just like, Mom, like, I don't know what you're asking me. And I was trying to play dumb, play stupid. But Mom was like, I don't know if you just went to Puerto Rico with this guy, or was it also with Carla? It didn't make a lot of sense to her, like, why I went to Puerto Rico. I kept stalling time, and I don't know what it was. I kept smiling, and the conversation started getting a little awkward. And this is my mom. Like, your conversation with your mom should never be awkward. So then my cousin looks at me, he goes, do you want me to just tell her? Do you want me to just tell her? And I'm like, yo, do it. Tell her, because I am gonna cry my eyeballs if I tell her. My cousin decides to look at my mom and say, listen, him and Tinder guy are dating. They're boyfriends. So once my cousin tells her, she looks at me and she's like, what? Once she looks at me and I start explaining myself, she goes, no, Jonathan, this I would not accept. She goes like that, I would not accept. And keep in mind, like, this is your mom telling you she's not gonna accept this in the house. And right after that, she was like, and that guy is not coming over never again. So in the past, he was coming over because he was my friend. He was like the new guy I met from NYPD, etc. So once she told me, I was like, okay, I understand. Like, I'm gonna accept, your rules and stuff. And then she goes, Jonathan, but wait, what? So you're gay? And I'm like, no, Mom, I'm bi. Like, I like both men and women. But right now, I am dating a guy, so I'm invested in just him. It's like it's not like she thought that I was hooking up with not only my boyfriend but also girls. So she was like, you have AIDS, and to look at and encounter, you have all these diseases, and you're messing with both sexes. I'm like, Mom, it's not like that. Like, if I'm dating him, I'm just giving myself to him. That's it. It's not like I'm dating him and her and him and her. It's not like that. So she didn't really see that. She didn't get it. She was like, I don't care. I'm not accept. And then she just starts crying. It broke my heart, but at the same time, I was like, Mom, you cannot be hard on yourself. And my cousin was trying to explain, and it was amazing that that cousin that came to help me out, he was one of the cousins that I told him the last, and that was because I was so scared on how he was gonna react. So seeing him vouching for me and seeing him understand this generation, understand me, it was just amazing to see that. But that was just something I had to say. But going back to my mom, she was just broken, and she was in pain, and you know how, like, Hispanic moms are, they're very dramatic. So her crying wasn't just like, it was just like crying and crying, and I was like, Mom, no one died, like, I'm still here. Like, for me, like, I just feel like that's something that people need to like, not embrace, but like try to understand, and maybe just be like, okay, I'm gonna be there for you, listen, because like, she wasn't thinking about me. She was thinking about herself and about the family and how they're gonna look at this. I remember after that, she went downstairs. She started helping my younger brother do his homework, and I was just like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? It felt like such a big relief. I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe I just came out to my mom. And yeah, it was just crazy. This whole thing was crazy. Long story short, my dad found out. My mom obviously told my dad, and he came out to my room. He was like, what's the thing that your mom's telling me about you being gay? Like, what? I'm like, Dad, I'm not gay. 2, I'm bisexual, and that means I like both men and women. He was like, nope, not here. You better change that. Do it for your mom. And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't accept it, it is what it is, but I'm not changing for anybody. I knew I was gonna hurt my parents. I knew I was gonna hurt my mom in particular, but I knew that I was doing this for myself. My mom was very disappointed, and she fell into depression for a couple months, and I was trying to be by, we cried together. You know, this is throughout the months, throughout the months till this day. You know, we cried together, we talked about it. There was times where she was even asking about my boyfriend, how he is, and about our relationship, and then there will be times where she would just not even want to speak about the topic, and will kind of hold a grudge against me, and that's when I would be so confused, because I'm like, do you want to go through this with me? It was just bizarre now that I'm thinking about it. But my dad really never tried to make the same effort that my mom was trying. My dad was just like, we will never talk about it, and we never really did. I love them to death, you know, that's never gonna change a thing. My parents mean the world to me. I just want them to see me being successful, and I want to make them proud. If I have to give any advice to anybody that is either gay, lesbian, bisexual, and they want to come out, I would just say be ready for the outcome. There are people that come out and you get so much love, so much respect, so much support. Luckily, I'm thankful for my best friends, I'm thankful for my close cousins. They have been my support system. You cannot do this alone and keep everything to yourself. You have to have someone being there for you, because it's too much when it comes down to hiding yourself and being very discreet. It becomes too much in your head that you need a support system. You need someone to talk to. And my support system was my best friend. Carla was always there for me. My brother, who I came up to, was always there for me. And then eventually my best friends and my close cousins that I decided to come out to. They were all my support system, and if I ever had to talk, I will reach out to them. You do have a support system. People do love you, people do care for you, and come out in your pace. Don't let anybody rush you, don't let anybody hold you back. At the end of the day, this is your decision, and it's what's gonna make you happy, and how you come out is gonna be all up to you. So that's my coming out story. Let me know your story. I would definitely appreciate it if you guys share this with someone that you support. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram or on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter, I'm gonna be making one, but yeah, everything's gonna be down below. I have so many things that I want to do with you guys, so I really hope you stay tuned for my future videos, and yeah, catch you guys next week.